Hello, my name is Tom Miller and I am a Solution Specialist with Blue Thread Technologies. In this video you will see how you can use StoragePoint and the Rackspace adapter to externalize SharePoint content to the cloud. We will demonstrate three main topics. First, we will look at the configuration of a storage profile to use the Rackspace adapter. This is what directs the site collection to externalize its content to the cloud. Next, we will show how an end user can work with the content that has been externalized and how there is no impact to their day-to-day processes. Lastly, we will look at the automatic promotion of metadata to the Rackspace Cloud from SharePoint. The metadata is kept in sync with the SharePoint document libraries in real time, leaving no administrative tasks. Let's take a look at a live demo. In order to externalize content to the Rackspace platform, you will need to have StoragePoint with the Rackspace adapter installed on your SharePoint farm, as well as a Rackspace account. The information that you'll need to have available from Rackspace is your user ID and key. Before we get started on the configuration, I want to show the Rackspace Cloud Files web application. This is an application that comes with your Rackspace account and is what I'll be using to show the content that has been externalized. It allows you to browse through and see all of the different storage containers you've created and your actual files and content blobs. The container I'm using today has not yet been created, and we'll do that right now when we configure a storage profile. All the configuration is done within Central Admin, so let's take a look at a storage profile I've already configured. I have one set up for Rackspace here, and if I just drill into this, the main thing to note is the connection string. Here's where you'll put in your user ID and your key and the optional container. You can see today I'll be using the Rackspace video container, and if I just go down and click the test storage settings button, we can see and verify that the test was successful. And jumping back to the Cloud Files application, I'll reload this view, and you can now see that the Rackspace video container is there. Now let's go ahead and take a look at a document library and look at this from an end user perspective. If I go in and upload multiple documents just like I would normally, I'll just grab a few document samples, a couple of images, and maybe an Excel file. We can see that nothing really changes from an end user perspective. The documents get uploaded to the Rackspace site and immediately externalized to the Rackspace Cloud Files. We'll go back to our web application here, and if I go ahead and refresh this, we can see that I now have three objects available that are externalized from SharePoint. This also holds true when working within an Office scenario or Office application scenario. If I go ahead and create a new Word document, for example, and I'll just paste some sample text in and go ahead and close this, it'll prompt me to save, and I can save this right back into my document library. And again, from the end user's perspective, nothing really changed. They're just working with SharePoint in the same manner that they have been all along. Document gets saved to SharePoint. If we look back on Rackspace and refresh, we can see that we now have 4 objects available. The last thing I really want to show in this scenario is dragging and dropping from a file system into a map network drive. Basically, using WebDAV, I have a network drive map to my Rackspace site that I'm externalizing content to. I can go ahead and, let's see, if I go ahead and refresh my map network drive, we can see all the documents that I've just added. Let's go ahead and add a couple more. We can drag a couple more pictures into here. And these documents will get uploaded in SharePoint and externalized to Rackspace. So we can go ahead and refresh our Rackspace application one more time, and we see we now have 6 objects available. Looking at SharePoint, we also have those same objects available. And again, if I want to open up a document from an end user's perspective, nothing really changes. The document displays right in the browser. There's no real perceivable delay. Of course, this is going to vary depending on internet traffic and bandwidth available at each individual site. But for the most part, it's responsive and not really perceivable to an end user. The metadata from the SharePoint document libraries is also propagated to the Rackspace Cloud. So if I go into my web application again and I click on one of these blobs in the Rackspace Cloud, I can see that the metadata from SharePoint has in fact been propagated and is attached to that object. This is the duck picture that's in my SharePoint document library, so we can go ahead and actually go back in and change some of these document properties. Even if we do something like add a new column, we can add information to Rackspace automatically. So let's go ahead and edit these properties, and we'll just go ahead and add some text in there. And as I click OK, this is saving that metadata back to the Rackspace Cloud as well. We'll go back and I'll just click off and back on so that this gets refreshed, and you can see that my test column has in fact been added to this, and the metadata has been updated. This concludes the video demonstration. Thank you for watching, and you can find out more information on our website at www.storagepoint.com.